behalf of all family and friends, I would like to welcome everyone here today. As we remember and celebrate the life of Dr. Janice Skeen, the beloved wife, sister, mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother. We gather here today in the presence of Spirit and the Divine to honor her life. As we reflect on her journey, we acknowledge the beauty and fragility of life, and we find solace in the knowledge that her spirit now rests in the embrace of the Father. May we feel the presence of love, light, the angels, avatars, saints, and God the Father surrounding us. And may we be guided by the memories of Janice as we navigate through this time of grief. We ask for strength to find peace in our hearts and to carry forward the legacy of her love and grace. At this time, please refer to the insert in Janice's memorial card as we say the prayer of life. This is a prayer that Janice had in her congregation and her church services. The prayer of life. These are the words of our Father. Blessed are those who come to the Father, for we are the Father's truth and the Father's light. Mother, Father, Creator, these are the days that you lead us through the valley, so that we may come to the mountain of the light. Let our guardians bring us to the truth, and our angels sing our symphony of songs. Bring to us the thunderous roar of our warriors to protect us from evil. Send our ancestors ahead of us to shed light on our journey. Enlighten the masses, place peace in our hearts, and bless our brand new starts. Amen. We'd like to read now one of Janice's favorite Bible scriptures. 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 1 through 4. Follow after love and desire spiritual gifts above all, that you may prophesy. For he who speaks not to men, but to God, for no man understands what he says. However, through the Spirit he speaks mysteries. But he who prophesies speaks to men for edification, encouragement, and comfort. He who speaks in an unknown tongue edifies himself, but he who prophesies edifies the church. We'd like to take a moment of reflection at this time and play a hymn that was also a part of Janice's church services, and a song that she loved to sing. The lyrics are also in the insert, and you may sing and follow along, and it's called I Come to the Garden Alone.
As we tell
Such a beautiful song. And in case you didn't know, and most of you probably already know, that one of the most favorite places Janice wanted to be was in her garden. And whether it was on the land or at her home, she loved it there. And she created so much beauty and nourishment from that space. There's a saying that says, everywhere you go, there you are. And that Janice did just that. She carried the beauty of that garden everywhere she went. She had a heart of gold. She was the garden. I've known Janice for almost 20 years. She was my close friend. She was my mentor. She was my spiritual teacher, advisor, counselor. She was my confidant. She was my Batman to my Robin. And we'd run the streets.
That sounds like mom.
11 of those years, I was her personal assistant. And I can tell you that my life forever changed the day I met her. She taught me, she counseled me, she helped me, she loved me, she ordained me. And I had the blessing and honor to spend most every day with her in some capacity. And I could talk for weeks, days, years about all the vast experiences and adventures that we had. But whether it was helping people every day, or learning from her in the classroom, or in casual conversation, or over tea, or working to help children in need in her community and the world, working on women's empowerment and fighting for equality for women, working in politics or traveling the world, whatever we were doing, it was the most amazing adventures. And I know a lot of us here can attest to that too. So it's really difficult to put into context and words the magnitude of her impact and the great works that she brought to this world and to people's lives. She dearly loved her husband, although sometimes she might not admit that. But I know she did. She couldn't fool me even when she loved her husband, she loved her children, she loved her family so much, and she spoke of all of you all the time. The difference she made in her community, the world, and the lives of so many people was massive. I witnessed the magnificence and humility that she brought to life every day. She was a true shining light, a beacon of hope, a change maker, a way shower, and a selfless trailblazer. Her heart was one of a kind, the most beautiful garden I was honored to walk alongside. Everything she did and everywhere she went, she carried that beautiful garden with her. Yes, she grew of the nourishment of wholesome food, but her garden was so much greater than that. Her garden was of nourishment of the soul and spirit. And in her greatness of those she served, she tried to help others find their own gardens. She planted seeds in others' gardens, trying to help people find their greatness, to show you how to heal and to forgive and just to love. She led me on the path of discovery of my own garden. She taught me and showed me that I could love my garden just the way it was, weeds and all, but inspired me to continue to help improve and make it more beautiful. And sometimes she would point out those weeds in your garden and make you face them. And this wasn't always fun or easy at those times, but it was because she truly loved you and she wanted you to be the best you could be. And she also taught me how to find the beauty in those weeds, that given love and forgiveness, those weeds could always be healed and plucked. The choice was ours. And when healed, they made our gardens become even more beautiful. I am eternally grateful to her and for all the gifts that she gave me, gifts that no amount of money could ever buy. She taught me something so simple, and sometimes it's so difficult. And this was just to love each other, love ourselves. To love and forgive myself first, and then extend that grace to others. She was the embodiment of love and grace. It was such an honor to witness her brilliance every day, and I really don't say this lightly. There's nobody I've ever met like her in my life, and I know there never will be again. The lives she touched, the rooms that she lit up just by walking in, it's like the ray of sunshine. Well, the sun is here. And she showed me how to find my garden, and she planted seeds there. And I know that she did the same for you. I witnessed this time and time and time and time again, how much she loved people. She planted a seed in everyone that she crossed paths with, every garden she touched. And she loved being in the beauty of her own garden. As I reflect on the magnitude and influence of her life, I ask, how does her legacy live on? And it does live on, and it continues to live on through all of you and through all of us. I ask you to carry on her greatness through your own hearts, through your own gardens, to nurture, to harvest and grow your garden from the seeds she planted in you. She is still in her garden of greatness. It's just in a different realm that we're not able to see with our eyes anymore. But I promise you, it's real, and she's there. And when you want to speak with her, go to your heart, go to your garden. She will meet you there. She will love you there. She is already there.
Like Reverend Delaney, Janice coming into my life was one of the most incredible and amazing things that has ever happened to me. I first met her about 20 years ago, at a time when I was praying so long, for years, that I would meet somebody who could help me. Someone who was tuned into this higher spiritual and heavenly realms, to help me understand what I was experiencing and going through, and help me to navigate through this life in a more meaningful and impactful way. And she came into my life through those prayers. And the day that I met her, I knew from that day she was the one that I had been praying for. Everything that she said and did, the way she graced the room, the way she spoke with others. She had a natural gift and ability to recognize the need in everyone around her, and was always there to service that need in an amazing way that could only truly be understood by the person whose heart she was touching in that moment. Things that no one else could have known or understood, and she was able to see right through it and get right to the heart of the matter and help them to heal through her words and through her energy and her love. And I knew right then, my husband and I, we were living in Utah at the time, and so Ohio was a long way away, and we had a life built there. And she spoke about the ministry that she had, the church that she had built, the Holistic Center that she had built and co-founded with her amazing husband, Patrick Frank, and what their plans were to do. And I knew right then that I had to be there. And life had its way, just like Janice has her way, and she knew, she said, you're going to be there. And sure enough, one thing led to another, and in the perfect way that God would have it in the Father, we were led here, to live here. And I had the opportunity and the honor to be able to walk with her and join her ministry, walk with others who understood the task and what God wanted of us. The Father truly did bring us together in a way unlike anything else. You couldn't even try to write it as a book, it would be unbelievable. We went to so many places all around the world, everything tied one thing to another like puzzle pieces that continued to help our souls and our hearts to heal and to grow and evolve and put it all together in a way that we could all ascend to higher levels of love and higher levels of heaven. And that is the grace that she brought to each and every one of us. It is clear that Janice has dedicated her life to serving God the Father and all that there is. She had the sensitivity and ability to tune into the world around her, the earthly and the physical and the spiritual and the heavenly. From the time she was a little girl, she had the gifts of prophecy, clairvoyance, healing, and mediumship between the spirit, the world, and the physical world. She developed these gifts and created a bridge between the seen and the unseen. She brought comfort, closure, and healing to so many. She lived her life fully in service to others, which has now rippled and echoed to touch thousands of people around the world, all over the world. Everywhere she went, she was always helping and serving. She had several principles that she built her life and ministry around. She believed in the infinite intelligence, that the wisdom and intelligence of God and the Father and all that exists is available to us all when we are able to tune in with our heart and minds. She believed that the phenomena of nature is an expression of this infinite intelligence. She affirmed that a correct understanding of such phenomena and living in accordance therewith constitutes true religion. She saw that Spirit, God the Father, and the spiritual world is the manifestation of both the physical and spiritual world that we experience. She helped us to see the deeper that we understand this, the closer we become to the truth and understanding ourselves and how we tie in to the order of nature and all that exists. She affirmed that the existence and personal identity of the individual continues after the change called death, and that communication with the so-called dead is in fact proven through mediumship. Her spiritual gifts helped so many to see that life does truly continue, and our soul's memories are stored in our soul records, and that we are able to reach and communicate with the spirit of loved ones, our angels, our ancestors, and the heavenly realms. This brought guidance, peace, and solace to so many that knew her. In my experience with her, it seemed that almost everywhere we went, if there was someone in need, she would share this message and touch their heart. She believed that the highest morality is contained in the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them done unto you, And I know she instilled that in all of her children and her family. I've heard it many, many times. It rang like a bell in a tower, the way that she expressed this. She believed that the moral responsibility of the individual that makes their own happiness and unhappiness as they obey or disobey nature's physical and spiritual laws. She emphasized striving to expand, evolve, and heal the body, mind, and soul, and also forgive and love unconditionally in order to raise to these higher realms of heaven, which I believe is where she is. She affirmed that the doorway to reformation is never closed to any individual here or hereafter. She believed and demonstrated in the works that she did with so many that we always have the opportunity to change our lives, whether it be in an instant or over time, that we are always loved and accepted by God, the Father who created us, and we are forgiven as we forgive ourselves and others, and we strive to evolve to these greater levels of love and understanding. Life is continual and eternal, and time and space are unlimited in potential and possibilities. She affirmed the precepts of prophecy as contained in the Bible to be divine revelation, and she demonstrated how we are able to connect and attune with the past, present, and future at any moment, and each other. She also strongly believed in family cohesiveness. She believed that we all came into this world together for a reason, in order to grow and heal and resolve the marks on our hearts and evolve with one another. God, her family, and those close to her were the center of her universe. At this time, I'd like us to all say the act of faith, which was a prayer that she used in her ministries, which you can find on that same insert. We place our trust in God, the holy and all-glorious Trinity, who dwelleth in the spirit of man. We place our trust in Christ, the Lord of love and wisdom, first among many brethren, who leadeth us to the glory of the Father, and is himself the way, the truth, and the life. We place our trust in the law of good, which rules the world. We strive toward the ancient narrow path, which leads to life eternal. We know that we do serve our Master best, when best we serve our brother man. So shall his blessings rest upon us, and peace forevermore. Serving and feeding the children and helping so many people in need has created much of the legacy that she has left behind in both her example and deed. We would like to pay tribute to her today by sharing a video with you all where she had received one of the most prestigious awards in the company that she had served for so many years for life research. The At the Heart of It award was an award given to only a very few people in over 25 years out of hundreds of thousands of people worldwide in over 50 countries. She embodied their mission, science, success, and service to others, but with a special focus on children, serving the children in need in this world. This video encompasses much of the dream that Janice brought into reality.
Her first inclination is, she has a question, how can I help people? That's the foremost thing on her mind, even at home, and when people call her late at night and she's tired, she still is thinking, how can I help people?
I believe For Life Research has the same vision that I do, and in partnering with someone or with many, you need to have the same vision. I believe strongly that while we are here on this on this earth that we need to be giving back to many people. And, as much as we get, we should be giving just as much. With all my travels around the world, I bring people with me, and we like to give back at least one day, possibly two, and make it community service. And that's how I found the Children of the Poor in Cusco, Peru. One of my favorite projects was this past Christmas when our organization in Akron, Ohio, helped the children of Cusco by raising money for the Tree of Hope. What we did was, for every donation that was given by the team, we went ahead and we hung a bulb. It became magical, it was beautiful, and it was full. And with those donations, we helped to feed the children. We helped by giving them vitamins with their favorite chocolates.
Janice, we're so honored for you to be able to invite us to this wonderful facility here. We've had the great opportunity of meeting wonderful people who are here really for the children. You have done such a great work here and have really started to build a legacy. And we are so excited to be able to partner with you and be able to continue the great work that you have started here. Thank you so much for all of your efforts.
I just want to thank Janice for coming here and for the support that she's giving us and all the people that are behind her. Janice brought us a donation and we're very thankful for that. We're going to use it for the children, maybe, to buy some food or something that they might need.
Janice's vision, Janice and Patrick's vision, I know they've been working on this for so long, and I feel so blessed to be a part of that with them. Our experience in Peru was absolutely amazing. This is a project that we have been passionate about and working on for quite some time, and to see it manifest and actualize for us, for Janice, for Life is just incredible to see.
We just don't look for things outside and internationally, but we also look what's in our own backyard. We have many women who need help in trying to look good for an interview and trying to get a job. And so I go around and collect shoes, and we take them into organizations, and they choose their free shoes, and you can see the difference in their eyes. They light up and they're happy, and they feel proud then to go out and find that job, get that interview. Our organization has come together on some property, and what we do is we grow food for those who cannot afford food. It's all organic. We love it. We come together, we picnic all day, and we garden all day in order to help others. So we feed not only our families, but many families in our community. For Life has the vision of helping others and changing the world, making it a better place.
It's amazing to hear her voice. Yeah. We're going to miss that. Yeah. We'll be able to hear her though when we need to. What a beautiful woman. That is just the beginning of it, honestly. From there, For Life worked with Janice and Patrick to bless so many more. With her family and her team, and local community and government officials, for years came together and packed food for the hungry children in our local area. Hundreds of thousands of dollars donated that we dedicated so much of our time, love, and energy to help these children on a weekly basis that she helped facilitate and made it happen for all of us. The impact is massive and worldwide, truly. We do want to take this time to have anyone who would like to come up and share some tributes, sentiment, love, words that come from your heart. We do have a few that have asked to speak, and we'll call them in order, and then we'll leave room at the end for anyone else who'd like to share. If you could come up, Nate Kiesman is a part of her school and church for the last 20 years as well.
Today we gather not in mourning but in gratitude to celebrate the extraordinary life of Janice. A mentor, friend, spiritual mother to me, a guide who has transitioned into the eternal embrace of the divine. Her journey was one of unwavering faith, boundless joy, and inspiring dedication to living fully and purposefully. She has not left us. She has expanded into the infinite, where her light continues to shine brightly. Janice was a living example of a life deeply connected to God, guided by the Spirit and enriched by love and wisdom. Her ability to hear God's word and act upon it, that was a gift that she shared generously with all who crossed her path, even if we didn't listen to her. Even when the way forward seemed improbable to others, she followed her divine guidance with courage and grace. That led to moments of revelation, transformation, and most oftentimes awe. Through her life, she taught us that faith is not about understanding every step, but trusting in the beauty of the journey. Her impact reached far and wide. As was already shared, she touched lives in over 22 countries, many of which she visited many times. Janice was a radiant soul, as we all know. She was also a seer, a divine guide, and I think what many of us might consider an angel on earth. She lived with us, with a joyful heart, her wit and her humor brightening every room she entered. Her wisdom often came in quiet, subtle ways, revealing its full brilliance long after that moment had passed. To be in her presence was to feel uplifted, inspired, and deeply seen. To me, Janice was a spiritual mother. Her guidance was a constant source of clarity and strength, a light that illuminated my path and many others. She taught me to listen deeply, not just to the noise of the world, but to the whispers of the divine. Her counsel, always rooted in truth and love, reminded me to rise above the chaos and seek peace and purpose. She was a steady anchor, a source of unwavering wisdom, and a reflection of God's love in human form. Janice's life was a masterpiece of faith, resilience, and joy. She lived fully, embracing every moment. With grace and courage, her legacy is one of love, hope, and I think we would all agree, divine connection. She showed us that life is not about what we achieve, but how we love, how we listen, and how we uplift others. As Janice transitions into the eternal light, we celebrate the gifts that she has left us. Her presence is now boundless. Her influence is now infinite. The lessons she imparted, the love she has shared, and the wisdom she lived will continue to inspire us all for eternity. She reminds us that life is a journey of the Spirit, and the best way to honor her is to live our own lives with that same faith, courage, and joy that she exemplified. Janice, we thank you for your radiant example of a life well lived. Your light will never dim. It will guide us, encourage us, and remind us of the beauty of walking in harmony with the divine. May we all strive to live with grace, purpose, and love that you embodied. Today we celebrate you and always are grateful for the blessings that you have given us. You are forever a part of us, and we are better for having known you.
We'd like to have Adam, Alex, and Jennifer Martin come up. As most of you know, her grandchildren, and her sister, her daughter.
So the boys are gonna take it from me if I can't get through this. Dearest Mom, growing up, you have always taught us to love one another.
dearest mom, growing up you have always taught us to love one another. You had so many attributes that were passed along to us kids. I definitely did not receive your quick wit, but what I did receive was your compassion for others and your lead foot. You were always helping everyone who has come into your life, but when I needed you most, you were there for me. By either traveling to me or by a phone call. I'm going to miss the
Where are you at, baby?
Sorry, handwriting.
All right.
Yeah.
Put your glasses on.
Maybe
You're
that's
great.
what the problem was. Where am I at, buddy?
Right.
I am going to miss what I'm going to miss the most are phone calls and me sharing the stories and the gossip that's going on in my life and all of my friends and people that I work with. To this day, I always tell my kids, quick like a bunny. And to close the door because were you born in a barn? Or we aren't heating the outside or cooling it. I love you, Mom. You will be dearly missed. Go ahead, Alex. I'm gonna go sit.
The thing I remember Grandma for most is how caring she was towards everyone around her. Growing up, we didn't see Grandma very often due to living too far, but even so, every time we visited here in Ohio, I would always want to see Grandma and Grandpa, and this is because they always took such good care of us whenever we would visit, and I always knew that we were taken care of. I'm forever grateful for the time we spent with her and the memories that we made.
Every time we got to go visit Grandma in Ohio, she always made sure she had time for us. She always made sure she had enough energy for us, even when she had barely any energy to give. It always stuck out to me how she always put others before herself, and she always had so much love for everyone else she touched. And whether it be through her philanthropic works, whether it be with her children, her grandchildren, and she always had purpose and confidence in what she did. She always had a statement to make, somewhere to be. She always had a goal, and she was always working towards helping others no matter what. And I feel like we should all live our lives the way she lived hers, in helping others and making sure that whatever we do in our lives, we do with confidence, just like she did.
My mother was an amazing woman. Anyone who was fortunate enough to have had their life touched by her was forever changed for the better. She had a way about her that was just unforgettable. She was a beacon of light, guiding others in faith to serve a greater purpose, making a difference in her community and the world. Sorry. Don't be sorry. She instilled in us the importance of family and was always there for her children, grandchildren, her siblings, and anyone she loved whenever we truly needed her, making sure that we always knew that we were loved. She raised her children to be independent, yet always to take care of one another. She not only cared for her 6 children, but she took in all of our friends, the neighborhood kids, anybody who needed a roof over their head or a safe place to go, a hot meal, a shirt on their back, whatever they needed. My mom was always there. She never sheltered us from the realities of life, but instead she taught us how to navigate through life's challenges, teaching us not only to survive, but also to thrive during times of chaos, shaping us to be strong, resilient, and full of hope. As a woman of faith, my mother taught us to believe in miracles. She believed that God and the universe would always provide exactly what we needed when we needed it. She made things happen, even when it seemed impossible to those around her. She dedicated her life to teaching others to live in accordance with faith that she so greatly believed in. Her impact will live on in all the lives that she touched, and she will forever be remembered and greatly missed by all.
Would you like to come and share some of this?
I remember when I reached out to Patrick and he said, do you want to talk? I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but I'm going to share what's on my heart about Janice. Because as I said to Patrick's post, she's such a wonderful, incredible woman. There's not enough adjectives in this world to explain her and her impact. What is it about standing up that just makes people cry? I'm sorry. Thank you. I've known Janice, oh my goodness, for over 25 years, probably going on 30, and I cannot even believe that. She has been in my life all the time. And you know, she's great, like you were talking about chaos, the worst time in your life. She will pull you out of it. She will help you understand. She'll help you understand and somehow enjoy the journey, right? Yeah, but I was really thinking about the impact she's made on me, and being able to touch my life, to deeper know myself, my spiritual connection, and always being there to help at any time. And of course, enjoying the travel with her, the helping of the kids. I mean, you could go on, like Rebecca said, for months and years to talk about her accomplishments and what she's done. And I really think Leah had touched on it when she talked about the ripple effect. And you know, as we look in life and we hear and we really understand, you really understand the ripple effect. It's not just you, it's just not me she's touching. She's touching my children, my children's children. She's touching anyone else we come to. The kids she fed, making people feel better. And understanding that, who would have thought one woman could do this? And I think she's showing me that you connect to yourself and you love and you bring that to the world. You can connect to so many people just by the ripple effect. And if we just sat and prayed and understood what in the world that really is doing, she's amazing. So, thank you.
Jessica, would you like Erica to come and speak for you? Yes, please. All right. Jessica's daughter Erica is going to come and speak on behalf of the family.
She'll deliver it just like you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Alright.
Erica. You're welcome.
Alright, I'll try not to jumble words. Grandma knows I'm not the best.
Just don't say linoleum.
Or aluminum. One of the most amazing person my mom was, both professionally and personally. She had her own style and way of doing things that just worked. We didn't have monetary wealth, but we were rich in love with our family. Some of the fondest memories were our dance parties in the living room to Mom's old 8 tracks, and then later the break dancing on the kitchen floor, which Mom now does with my kids. I carried that tradition and dance parties in my living room with my kids when they were small and now my grandkids. Mom would make up silly phrases and sing them to us. What do you know, Kokomo? A bushel and a peg and a hug around the neck. Jessica Marie, pretty as can be, and the list goes on. I find myself doing the same things as I make up silly phrases and sing them to my grandkids. When she would be more serious, she would remind us that family is number one and you stand up for your family. She would say, blood is thicker than water and you can't trust anyone except your own pocketbook. Mom would give her life to protect her own children. We didn't always agree or see eye to eye on things, but I always knew she loved me. She devoted a lot of her time to her business and her work helping others. Sometimes we were offended that she wasn't there for us because she was too busy being there for others. She couldn't come to the phone because she was too busy helping others in need. Or we'd have to sit hours at the center and wait to get 5 minutes of her time in between, and then get annoyed when we were pushed to the back burner, or have to share our time with everyone who was there too. Was that selfish of me to think that way? Maybe. But when I look back at those memories, I realize that maybe the lesson here is that I didn't need that much because she taught us how to be independent, strong-willed, and to work hard to be successful in business and in life. We had to think for ourselves and work through our problems, but one thing was for sure, she always knew when we were truly broken and needed her to be there. She would drop everything and be the first to call, cuss out whoever put us out, whatever problems we were going through at the moment, to be sound of reason, to give advice, or tell you a solution to your problems. She always loved to say, I told you so. That is true. I heard that quite a few times. Whether that was being right, or just because she didn't like our choice in the first place. When I got divorced and picked her up to go with me to the attorney's office, I looked at her when she got in the car and I said, I don't want to hear you say it, not one damn I told you so. She looked at me and smiled and said, okay, just so you know then. We got a good laugh out of that one. When I got remarried, as she told me one day I would meet the right one, right before she walked me down the aisle, she looked at me and she said, I told you so. Many people knew her for the person she was professionally, and all of her community works for that we are also proud of her for. She has had many professional accolades and has traveled the world with many great experiences, teachings, and studying. I knew her as my mom and the person who she was to our family. She was tough as nails, always teaching and always selfless and giving. She would give her right arm if she knew that you needed it. Good thing, because she was a lefty. I will miss her Monday and Friday afternoon calls just to bug me because she knew those were my busy days at work, and I asked her not to call on those days. But she did it on purpose. I will miss being able to talk trash with her and get good laughs out of it. I will miss having the opportunity to continue this life with her by my side, to share the ups and downs. Her journey here on earth is over, but we have to go on. I love you, Mom. Please watch over us. And don't forget to drop in and say, I told you so.
Julie, would you like to come and speak?
I won't be as long as Jesse. my mom always tried to make everyone happy. She went out of her way to help anyone in need. Growing up with 5 siblings and struggling, it was difficult to understand why she would help others when I thought we needed help. She always invited people to stay at our home when they were down on their luck. Some stayed for days, some stayed for months. The house was always full. Family, friends, and sometimes people we didn't know. Most of the people that we didn't know became family and friends. I felt jealous and sad thinking she put others first before the 6 of us. She would give all the money she had and the shirt off her back if somebody asked. It took me 52 years to really understand what a great person she was. This past Christmas, she gave me a gift that truly showed she never stopped loving me. Thanks.
Good, brother. I'm good, man.
This past Christmas, she gave me a gift that truly showed me she never stopped loving me, and that she thought about me more than I ever realized. I wish I could hold her hand one more time and tell her how proud I am to be her son. The pain that I feel will eventually go away, but my love will never fade. I'm sorry it took me so long to understand. Mom, if you can hear me, I will never forget what a good mom you were, not just to me, but to everyone in need.
Michelle chose.
I know, me neither.
That's our family.
You know, I wrote some remarks and I didn't bring them in, so I'm gonna ad-lib this. Janice Skeen was the most amazing woman I've ever met. The most amazing mother, most amazing wife, most amazing humanitarian. I met her in 1999 when I went to see her. She said my guardian angel brought me in, and I was broken. And she helped me through that, helped me heal, and helped me keep moving on. The most amazing teacher, all my peers, Nate, Leah, Carrie, Kim, Rebecca. She was the most amazing teacher. The humanitarianism, the service to others. There was not one thing that she didn't do that wasn't in service to others. Her and Patrick. At some point, well, I lost my mom when I was 18. So when I started coming to see Janice, at some point I started calling her my Mama J. She taught me about life, what it was like to be part of a family, and I got to live vicariously through her children, her grandchildren, her great-grandchildren, and of course my peers. So, and without that experience, I would have never had it. She wrapped me in her arms and she never let me go. And I always knew that whether I saw her or not, or, you know, sometimes it was times when I hadn't seen her. And I do believe that she saved my life through For Life research multiple times. And I had some help from my peers as well. I know she's in a better place. I believe it. But it's hard to adjust knowing that she's not here with us anymore. But one thing more than anything else is I'm so grateful to God and the Father and all that there is for the loan of the most amazing woman, loving woman that I've ever met in my life. And I can only hope, and I do try to pay it forward, but I still, when I grow up, I want to be like Janice. And when she was in the emergency room, when Patrick texted me, all I could see was Patrick and Janice dancing. Whether it was the Belcourt Castle, she had her hair up in this beautiful dress, and then sometimes she would go like this at the dances. But the one memory that pops up was her face when I couldn't get on the donkey in Jordan. Thank God there was no cell phones. Ask Jamie, it was terrible.
I would have loved it.
Jamie had to help me. Half hour later, I was screaming. So I am grateful for Janice. Everything they spoke about was true, and I just feel very blessed and very lucky that she was my friend, my teacher, my mentor, and my Mama J. And thank you for all of you for letting me be part of your lives too. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, now forget the donkey.
Can you pray, Ruth?
Oh, wait, Leah. No,
Yes.
no, don't put me in there.
Angela.
Don't put me in there.
Okay, you don't want it?
No. Okay. All
Would
right.
you like Angela to speak?
Okay. All right. Next.
Okay. Alrighty, guys. When I was on my way here to the wake last night, I had a pit in my stomach, and I was so fear, grief, and sadness. But when I walked in that door and heard that music,
I gotcha.
and heard all the laughter, I was like, this is a celebration. As Steve and I were in line, he looked at me and said, who are those beautiful girls? They look just like Janice, all in their hats. He goes, they even sound like her. And then the boys are all on the line, and he was like, they're so handsome and joyous. And as Steve looked at Janice and said a prayer over her, he turned to Patrick and he said, your queen is beautiful. And Patrick, thank you for taking such good care of our queen. Always brushing her hair, carrying her things, even her purse when needed. You always were there for her. And thank you guys for making last night a celebration. What words can you say about your mom? You just can't. But she was the queen of teaching valuable lessons. And I have to say, I have one. It was a week before Christmas at the old mansion. over on West Market. She had gotten a call that a family of 3 children had just lost their mother, and custody was given to the aunt who had no Christmas for them. She looked at a few of us and asked us if we could take a name and provide. And being a few days before Christmas, I was like, oh, I don't know if I can. I don't have enough money. How can I do this? But she looked at us with those eyes, and I took a name, and the little girl was 12 and asked for an outfit, a CD player, and a CD. Now that was a long time ago. I went to the Gap and bought the outfit, got the CD player, wrapped it, and brought it back to the center. A few weeks later, I worked at Locust Dental. I'm a hygienist, and in walks this little girl in the outfit I had bought.
No way.
As I sat and I cleaned her teeth, I said, how was your Christmas? And she goes, I got this outfit and a CD and a player. The only thing the child got was the things that I had purchased. And the other children had on their outfits that the other people had purchased. And I said, wow, that's great. And I ran in the back and I called your mother and I wept. And I said, how? How did you know? And she said to me, always give with a giving heart, and all things are possible. And I'm gonna I'm gonna miss those ways of her teaching us. And I know she's taught us all, and gonna miss her, but I know she's with us. And I love you all. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would love to come and share some words? I would. Yes, please.
I know she's gonna yell at me too. My name's Janice. I don't know how long, guys. Knowing all our kids. Was in their house.
Forever. 40 years.
Okay, I'm gonna tell one story. Don't get upset, Patrick. This is the loser story.
Uh-oh.
I had just got a new car, and it was a red little car. What was it?
Ford Tempo.
Not the Tempo, the one before you drove that. Anyhow, red car.
Oh, the Ford Escort.
The Escort.
Yes, the Escort.
Is that the one I put in a ditch?
Yeah. And then my car got hit at your house, and your mom said, "Don't worry about it. It'll be taken care of." So anyway, she said, "Let's go over to Luther's," and I'm like, "Why, Janice? I just want to see if he's there with me." So we go over in my red car. Somebody called the cops. So they pulled up behind me with the lights going. Do you guys know this story? What does she do but throw me under the bus? I have 6 children. Man, we know that you've been casing this house. I have 6 children. You can't throw me in jail. Me, I'm a college student. Where do you go to school? Akron, you. Okay. So we get done with all that explaining it, and she goes, "I need a Kit Kat really bad." So we go to the gas station to get her a Kit Kat. I look at her and I said, "Janice, how could you do that to me?" She said, "Shut up, Dee, you don't have children." She would call me, you guys remember, call me to go get her Kit Kat or OK potato chips.
Okay, potato chips.
And then once we're here, remember, she'd go, "Get the chip dip too." Oh, the Pepsi. And we'd sit in the living room there, and this is before she had an office, and she'd go, "There's crazy people out there. Answer the door, Dee." I'm like, really, Janice? They won't leave me alone. Yeah. That big table she had with the crystal on it?
Yeah.
And she looked at that crystal and tell me stuff. I said, "You're so full of shit." This is before she was a reverend or anything else. Remember?
She practiced on you.
Everybody was in the basement. I remember one time you guys didn't have school, and you're like, "Come to the basement and watch this movie." I'm like, "Why am I sitting in the basement watching?" I think it was Alice's Charlotte's Web. Yes, Miss Jenny wanted to watch that. But do you remember when we went to Lilydale in that purple car?
Yes.
And Jamie's laying across Jessica, herself,
Yeah.
and your mom. I'm so uncomfortable.
Terrible.
We had to go to the bathroom. We had our clothes in paper bags. And this one wanted a blow dryer and go in and do her hair. So we sneak in there, and Janice is like, "Just be really discreet." I'm like, "Really?" We look like bums walking Do you remember that?
Yeah.
You kept complaining how uncomfortable you were, and I was like, "I'm gonna throw him out the window."
Yeah.
And then it was raining, and we were on the side of the road in a ditch.
Oh my gosh.
And then I got, and your mom said, "Get out and be holy." And I'm like, "Really?"
They kick her off the stage.
Yeah. And then the time that we went to Lilydale, Karen, her, and I went. We walk in, and the refrigerator's chained up with a dog chain. And your mom's like, "What the hell is that?" I'm like, "Yeah, Janice, what is that?" So she tells Karen and I to go get her luggage, like we're the servants.
This was before Patrick.
I don't think so. If anybody knew Karen, they knew she would be like with her cigarette, yeah. At the time you went to Jamie's flea market, and your mother and I went and got this stuffed animal and taped the cigarette to its mouth. Gave it to Karen. She was so angry. We were selling those sweatshirts that Luther had made.
Sweatshirts.
Oh, and I'm like, "Really? I have to sell these ugly shirts? Really?" We didn't sell one. But your mom, she would call me up. You guys know, she would call me up. "Take it out here right now."
And
I
you
get
did.
over here. Yeah.
You always did.
In the mornings with Josephine, and you guys not ready for school.
Oh,
Never. You'd drag me out of bed.
Oh, I know. She'd scream. We had to go to the back hallway and get you out.
Yeah.
But anyways, I knew Janice before all this stuff. Who the heck's probably the oldest woman in the world? But I knew her in the mansion. That place was haunted.
Yeah, it was.
I'd sit there and she'd say, "Did you hear that?" I'm like,
Don't go down that hallway.
Okay. But I just wanted to say how I met Janice was my parents owned the Franklin Castle. Walked in the hot dogs and more because somebody after you said, "Hey, there's a psychic over there." I said, "Oh, that's a bunch of crap." So I walked in there and she goes, "I've been waiting for you to show up for 2 weeks." She was a great person, great runaround person. We ran Cleveland. We'd go up and see Johnny all the time. She's always, "I gotta come up here and see what you're up to." But anyway, she was a wonderful person. I'm sure she's here right now yelling at me, wanting to pull my hair.
Probably. No,
But,
she is.
yeah.
Yank every hair out of your head.
Oh yeah, chase me around.
Yeah.
I was the youngest, so.
Yeah.
But anyways, wherever you're going, Janice, good luck. And I'm sorry for your loss, but she's still here and everybody.
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
thanks,
Yep.
Thanks, Steve.
You're welcome.
We're getting ready to wrap up. We have to leave here in about 10 minutes. So we're gonna have Angela speak lastly for Johnny, and then we'll have some closing words.
Many of you knew her as Janice or Dr. Skeen. I had the pleasure and honor to call her mom. I have thought long, shedding rivers of tears of what to say, and find it hard that words could describe her personality and spirit. Her unconditional love for family and friends, the countless acts of selflessness I can attest to, her beautiful smile, infectious laugh, her inspiring words of wisdom, and the way she entered a room with charisma and charm, I miss already. And it hurts deep knowing that she's not here in the physical anymore. Knowing spiritually she will be close by brings comfort and helps lessen the pain. For many years, our introductory dialogue was the title of a Dr. Seuss children's book, "Are You My Mother?" I would ask. She would respond, "Are you my son?" Smiles and laughter followed as we entered into conversations. If only I could ask that one last time. Yes, you are my mother. The best mother a son could ever have. Thank you, Mom, for being you. I love and will dearly miss you. See you when I see you again. Your loving son, me, John, your baby boy.
There's so much love. I don't think I've ever met anyone surrounded by so much love. And I know she is just soaring high with the eagles and the condors and the butterflies and the fairies and the angels, the archangels, all of our ancestors and avatars, God the Father, and all that there is. We are going to end on a song that she loved very much, a very uplifting song. We just are changing one of the words. Before we sing, we do need to take note that we need to make a correction on this place of the burial site, the cemetery. It's going to be at Greentown. Green Lawn, thank you. So it's the same address, just different name. So we're gonna sing "This Big Light of Mine" instead of "This Little Light of Mine." That was her adaptation for it, and we used to sing that everywhere, in church, on our journeys, all over the world. We don't have music to go with it, so we're gonna use our beautiful voices.
Acapella.
Acapella. Here we go.
This big light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This big light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This big light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All around this wide, wide world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around this wide, wide world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around this wide, wide world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Thank you all for being here and sharing so much love and stories, beautiful stories with us. Touches my heart as well. And we're going to get some advice on how to leave from here and get ready to line up towards the mausoleum.